Hello, Sydney. All right, one more time, give it up for Simon, who's given his time to come and have a bit of a chat.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So, Simon, what's really cool is we met 12 months ago when you were here doing the Let There Be Rock orchestrated. Something about
we did.
I'm sure James throws around huge fees for you to play for him, but is there something about Australia that keeps that makes it easy for you to?
Well, I've known James for a long time too, and he came up with the idea about coming over here, and he's had this Australian Bond show for a long time, and I thought that would be a cool thing. And actually, I had him come over to LA, and we did I was working for a record company where we were looking for talent to do this AC/DC tribute album, and I was involved with 4 songs, and I heard James playing, and I thought, wow, now there is a rhythm player. James can do everything, but as a rhythm player, I thought that you need to get him over here and stuff. And that was about 15, 16 years ago, or something like that, back in the 1800s.
Yeah. I believe fire wasn't invented when James was...
Yeah, whatever, wasn't it?
It was a long time ago, yeah. Awesome, man. Now, just... these guys have got a bunch of questions. Gavin, are you here? There you are. Dude, I know you've got a lot of questions. We got your email. We're looking forward to hearing them.
Who's Gavin?
He's over there. We'll bring Gavin up a little bit
Gavin.
later. Where did you fly in from Melbourne, Gavin?
Yeah, got here about 10 minutes ago.
That's a pretty good... Give it up for Gavin, everyone. There's a fan.
There you go, Gavin.
I know that Gav's got some questions I want to ask you a little bit later, but there was a few things that we were talking about outside before the show that I specifically asked not for you to give answers to, because I'd like to hear it in front of everyone here.
Like X-rated stuff.
Yeah, that stuff. But a couple of questions that I, about drumming and whatnot. How old were you, firstly, when you picked up a set of drumsticks?
I didn't. I think I just started banging on my grandma's knitting needles and stuff like that on the couch.
I had a chopstick. Chopsticks.
Either or, it works, yeah. And I just saw stuff on TV, there was a program in England called Top of the Pops, and it was, you'd see a whole load of disco crap. Not that there's anything wrong with disco, but now and again you'd get like Thin Lizzy would be on there, or UFO, or Judas Priest or something, and I'd see the drummer and I would go like, oh, that looks great. I definitely want to try doing that, Yeah, long time ago.
Yeah. Round about the time when you picked up James on your album.
No, it was even before that.
Before that. Were you I know drums comes to some people naturally.
I think so. If I'm not a very patient person, so I think if I didn't think that I thought that I could do it, I don't think I would have pursued it.
So it wasn't a teacher or someone giving you lessons?
No, I never had lessons. I just put the record on and I just played along to it and made my own mistakes. Oh, that's better. And that's how I did it.
Do you want to throw up the house lights for us, mate? We just dropped that one that says centre.
Yeah, that's better.
That's a bit better. There we go. We can see them now.
Oh, yeah. Oh. I've got some sunglasses back there. Do you want them? Yeah. Okay, hang on one second.
Obviously, being from a school, I think, personally, natural ability.
It does help, but there are some people I think benefit. Like I was talking to one of your students earlier, Ollie, and he plays drums, he plays guitar. He's a very smart kid. I don't know him. I just met him, but he seems like a smart kid.
He's not that smart.
But he was smart enough to learn how to read drum music, and I wish I would have done that, because I've had offers to do certain things, and one of the priorities was you needed to read drum music, and I never did that. So
that's a very interesting point. I think something you and Paul McCartney have very much in common, and that is you don't read music.
He doesn't read music?
Paul McCartney can't read a note of music, no.
Well, he did all right, didn't he?
Yes, can't remember. You know, those that can't read, who knows? I can't read music.
Imagine if
I
he'd
might
have
be
read
in the Beatles
music,
one
he
day,
would have never written those bass lines because he was thinking, no, that's too simple.
So cool. So you started drumming. Tell me, one of the things I asked you outside as well was, as you know, and the questions I'm kind of asking about relates to the students that I teach here in the professional, being a professional drummer and whatnot. So one of the things I'd like to know is sometimes we get gigs on a shortish notice. Now when I'm talking, that might be at a local pub or something like that. I'm not talking about AC/DC or something, but have you been approached by other bands?
Yes.
So tell us about one or two of those.
Yes, I have.
Feel free to drop names.
Oh, I'm going to.
Good.
I won't drop.
We've got a lot of people here to pick them up, so it's,
I won't drop Donald Trump, so don't worry. No, a friend of mine called me out, and I'd just gotten home actually. I think it was I'd been playing in Italy, and I'd been there for a while. It was about a month. And I had 2 days off, and my friend Rudy Sarzo is a bass player who's played in Ozzy Osbourne, Whitesnake. We were together in a band called Jeff Tate's Queensryche. He was in Dio with me as well. And he called me up and he says, "Si, what are you doing?" I said, "Well, I just got home." He says, "Well, listen, we need your help. Can you fly out tomorrow to, oh God, well, I forget what it was. It was the Midwest somewhere like Detroit or something. Because he plays in a band called the Guess Who, and I was not familiar with songs from the Guess Who. I think I knew American Woman, so I said sure, and he said, "Don't worry, we'll get the ticket for you. You just fly out." So I'm on the plane and I'm learning all these Guess Who songs, and I'm going, "This is really cool. They got some good songs, It's kind of like from that era, it was back then or whatever, but. It's really good, so I'm learning them, and I get them all learned and stuff, and this band plays with a click track live, so I don't usually play with a click track live, I play, just play. So I learned all the songs, and I was learning them on the plane, and we get there, and I'm in the dressing room, and I'm learning the songs on my headphones, and I play the show with the headphones and plug them into a, what do they call it, a DI box or something. Yeah. So, great, I've got it all figured out in my head. I go down there, the intro music starts, there's probably 3,000-4,000. They do really well, they're good band, and I look around and I go, I have no headphones. So it's like an amphitheater, and it's kind of open on the side, so the whole audience is watching me running up the hill to go back to the dressing room to get the headphones so that I can start the show. They reran the intro tape again, and I'm sitting there going like, I'm so sorry.
that was your first show with them?
That was my first show with them.
Awesome. So tell me your most embarrassing moment.
Say again?
I was going to say your most embarrassing moment, but I think we knocked that over.
We got over it quickly. The show was good.
We're going to hand it over to the audience in a second. I always ask this of everyone that we have here, but obviously a lot of us are starstruck today. We're getting to roll with, ex-drummer of AC/DC and Dio. Has there been a moment in your career where you've looked around the people in the room that you're with and kind of pinched yourself, or has there been a moment where you just thought, look who's in this room, or look at, is there a moment where you thought? Wow.
There has, in all honesty, yeah, there's been a few moments like that.
Love to hear that.
It's you meet characters, and some people say be careful who you meet. You meet your idols and stuff like that. And but I've been very lucky. I mean, I've played with some amazing guitar players, Michael Schenker, Angus Young. Lots and lots of others. But I do remember one thing. We were playing at Donington in England, and we have a tuning room, which was Angus would you know, get tuned up and get changed and get pumped up to do the show and stuff. And we'd all kind of wander through it and then head to the stage and meet up and have a laugh and get G'd up to do the show. And at this particular point, I wandered in and there was Angus there and Eddie Van Halen. And they're like jamming away, doing this blues stuff and all. And I was just like, oh, God, look at that. You don't see that every day, do you? It's just like, and they were really loving playing together, you know, the blues and stuff like that. Because Eddie can play the blues too, you know. It's just like, and there's other things, you know. I mean, I played. We did a tour of Japan with Michael when I played in UFO with Michael Schenker, and he some of the stuff that guy plays is incredible. You know, it's really. I'd never seen anything like it before. Put it that way.
So
You know? And he's a really nice guy, so it was great.
So, you know, just being in a room where, you know, just with your bandmates sometimes is enough to take it up there, yeah.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you know, there's been arguments and fights with bands. Talking to Michael Schenker, there was an episode with, I joined, the original drummer decided not to do it, so I joined, but I kind of joined this brotherhood. And there'd been a lot of hate through the years, a lot of bad blood, but they were doing the tour anyway because they wanted to do it for the fans. And I remember this fight between the lead singer, Phil Mogg, and Michael Schenker, and it was like they were completely naked, stood face to face with each other in the dressing room, you know, and we're all around, and we didn't even know what they were fighting about, but it was just like, the bass player, Pete, tried to go up and say, hey, come on, you know, calm down, guys, it's okay, you know? And he was really sick, and he couldn't convince them. They were just at each other. We didn't know what was going on. And Pete goes down, sits on the couch, and the whole couch collapses around him. And it was the funniest thing I've ever seen. It was just, what the hell next? You know, what the hell's going to happen next? But there's always lots of special moments. Anyway.
Oh, cool. All right, so the last thing I've got to ask, two-part question. Should have probably Wikipedia'd this beforehand, but what were you doing? What project were you working on directly before AC/DC? And what was the transition like going from whatever that was to the biggest rock and roll band in the world?
Well, I'd moved down from Manchester in England, and I moved down to London, and I joined a heavy metal band. They were called Titan. It was kind of along that new wave of British heavy metal wave. But they really weren't doing very much. I helped them finish off an album, and then we did one show in a year in Belgium. So there really wasn't much going on, excuse me. And, you know, through one thing or another, there was an advertisement in a music paper, and it said, if you don't hit hard, don't apply. So somebody convinced me that I hit hard and I should apply.
I can assure you, you hit hard.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm not in a jazz band. So I applied. I didn't know who the hell it was, and it was an audition at a really kind of ritzy kind of rehearsal place in London. So I went down there, and it was an audition with the drum tech, and I played 3 songs. I think it was ZZ Top, AC/DC, and Led Zeppelin. So I kind of knew the songs, and I finish up, and he says, "Yeah, it was really good. We'll call you." And I went, "Ah, yeah, right." So
you didn't know who you were auditioning?
No, I had no idea. It didn't say who it was. So he calls me back a couple of hours later, and he says, "Can you come down tomorrow?" And I said, "No, because I haven't got any money." And he said, "Well, don't worry about that. Just get yourself in a taxi and come down." So I thought, "Oh, this is cool. Okay, they're interested." So I get down there, and he meets me in the lobby, and he leads me down this corridor, and there are all these flight cases with AC/DC written on them. And I tapped him on the shoulder, and I said, "You fucking kidding, right?" And he goes, "No."
Another French word.
So, oh fuck.
It's fucking cool.
Oh fuck, I'm sorry. Oh shit.
Kids, you've heard it once, it's all over.
Fuck. I mean, sorry. So I'm going down this corridor and asking who that, you know, is it for real? And then the door opens and there's Mal and Angus and Cliff. And it's all very low-key, that, you know, they're just regular, and said, hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you, you know. What songs do you need, do you know? So we played, I don't know, Back in Black and Rosie and TNT or whatever. And then we sort of stopped and we sat down in this part, and they were talking amongst themselves, and the manager was there and stuff, and they were talking about the next tour that was coming up. So they hadn't said anything to me, hardly, you know. It was like, so I leaned over, I think, to Mal, and I said, does this mean I'm in the band? And Mal went, yeah, it looks like it, doesn't it?
It looks like it.
And I couldn't wait to get out of there and call me dad. You know, it was like, and then my whole life freaking changed.
I can imagine. Wow, what a fantastic story. That's amazing. Imagine. So I'm just trying to picture auditioning for a band. You don't know who you're auditioning for.
Yeah.
Angus, Cliff, and Malcolm come walking in and say, "Welcome to the band."
Yeah.
Has that happened to anyone else in the room? Just checking.
Yeah. Just out of interest. Anybody else?
It's not a regular thing. No. Okay. Ladies and
I'm leaving now.
fantastic story. Thanks for dropping that on us, man. That was awesome.
Thanks.
All right.
Thanks.
Now you are going to stay there. Oh no, you're not having those. You're going to stay there. Now, no, they're your ones actually. Simon has signed a bunch of sticks and stuff.
Yeah, there was a gun involved and stuff.
That I am going to hand out to people who have cool questions. Now, where's Gav? Put your hand up, Gav.
What a great idea.
All right.
Wish I'd have thought of that.
Yeah. Hey, Simon, sign all this stuff for us, man. All right. Now, firstly, come up over here, mate. Why don't you come up on stage? Come on, Gav's come from Melbourne just for today.
You're a legend.
Yeah, Gavin, this is Simon. Say good day, man.
Hey, Gavin. Cheers, brother.
I tell you what, let's do this official. Sit down here, man. All right, now, hang on. Now, before you ask the question, think about it. Make it a good one, man. All right.
It's not Australia's Got Talent, don't worry.
I guess it's the other question. The first question is
Speak into the mic.
everyone here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. Rehearsing with a band like AC/DC, what does that involve? Like, are they really structured?
No, not really. No. No, it's an interesting question, but no, it's all very. What's the word?
Preparation of what to learn.
Well, if it's new songs, you know, there's a basic structure for some of the songs. Like Mal would come in with demos, and some would have a drum machine on, or some would just have a click track and stuff like that. And that was cool because you kind of had an idea what he was thinking about, you know, where it should go. And they were usually great ideas and stuff like that. But some of the other songs, there would be a lot of, you know, banging away, trying to search for that chord, you know, just jamming it out. And they would really work it, you know. Because it's not easy writing those kind of songs, you know, because they're simple, but you need that hook, you need that kind of like, you know, if it's the middle eight you're looking for to take you to the chorus, it has to be, you know, it's not easy. It's not easy. You know, they're really underrated, AC/DC, with regards to songwriting, you know, I think so.
And preparing for a tour?
Oh yeah, we would do, when you've done a new album, you would have to throw in, you know, a couple of songs from the new album. And that would mean there was usually, we'd be in a room doing the new songs and stuff and just freshen up with the classics. But then there would be production rehearsal with the, you know, everything, you know, all the cannons and the bells and everything like that. So
One more. Your first show at DC, what was it like preparing for that and actually doing it? The factor?
sort of vomiting and bathroom stuff going on. You know, it was, but they were really good, and the crew were good too. You know, they kind of like, you know, reassured you that everything will be okay. It's like when the lights go down, it's gonna get really loud. You know, and it's like, you know, it's stuff. I think the first show I did with them was in Calgary at the Saddle Dome. Something like that. I'm not 100%. I'm sure somebody will put me right on that. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, sure, Gavin. Thanks for coming. Gavin!
Okay, we got.
All the best.
Hang on, I'm just going to shake your hand, dude.
Yeah, come on. What's wrong here?
There's your signed drumstick, and we got to sign your poster as well. So. Thanks for coming up, man. It's very cool. Very cool of you.
There'll be some money in the mail at some point.
Okay, I've seen a few hands up there with questions. Hang on a second, I got a young fella right down the front. Then we got plenty of time. I know you've got one, but it's kids before ladies here. So, this bit, stand up, buddy. You want to come and say good day to Simon? You can take the interview chair.
Hello, mate. How are you? What's your name?
Jack.
Hi, Jack. Nice to meet you. Meet yourself.
Like, in LA.
Wait a minute. What do? Do you play?
Yeah, I play drums.
You're a drummer?
Yeah.
Never mind. Carry on.
When you're walking in LA, like, when you're walking to the shops, like, do people recognize you and say, "Oh, it's Simon Wright"?
No. Some policemen recognise me. Actually, you know, it was funny. Do you know a guy called Dave Grohl?
No.
He's the drummer in Nirvana, and he's got his own band called Foo Fighters. Superstar, writes great songs. So I'm going to the supermarket with my daughter. You know, she's 24 years old now, and we go to the supermarket, and she's pulling on my T-shirt like this. She's going, Dad, that's Dave Grohl. I'm like, is he? Yes, Dave Grohl. I'm like, Dave, how are you, man? Si, how you doing, man? She's just stood, sat there like. Dave Grohl. Check out Dave Grohl. He's cool. He's a cool guy.
And what was your biggest crowd you ever played for?
Oh, that was about, somebody told me there was about 350,000. That was in Brazil. It was called Rock in Rio in 1985. Yeah.
South America is the only continent we haven't seen them yet.
You gotta go, it's great. They do this all the time. They go, way, 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 oh, way, oh, way, oh.
Look at the TV on it, it's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, how does it feel like in LA being a famous rock star?
LA. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of rock stars, so you just mingle in with them. Yeah. No, you don't really feel like a rock star. I mean, I just go about my stuff, do my own thing, you know. People recognize me if I go down. There's a club called the Rainbow, and when you get older and you go to LA, you probably go there. Yeah. There's a big statue of Lemmy. You know who Lemmy is? Well, there was this band called Motorhead, right? There's a movie, go watch it. Is that your mum? Oh, there's your dad. Your dad will let you watch it sometime. Jack!
Buddy, here's a drumstick as well, all signed up by Simon for you, okay, mate?
Nice to meet you, Jack. Take care, buddy.
All right, hang on, let's hit the room.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm Belle.
What's your name?
Belinda.
Belinda. Nice to meet you.
So my question is, how do you wind up and wind down for those massive shows that you do?
Cocaine. No.
Without drugs.
No.
That was a loaded question, wasn't it?
That was a load of crap.
Yeah.
My answer, I mean.
So it's like after you've played, especially
Yeah.
the wind down.
Oh, that's the hardest one, yeah,
Yeah.
because you're pumped up, you know. It's like when I was in DC, I mean, it was like a 2.5 hour show, and you were just like, damn, you're just killing it, you know. I don't know, you got to make sure, remember, you drink a lot of water because you're dehydrated, you know, you got to make sure. And then some beer, and that's cool.
Go to sleep after those big shows? usually?
Yeah, well,
Or you're
it takes a
exhausted.
while. It takes like, I've got to be honest, about like 4 or 5 hours,
Yeah, right.
you know.
Cool. And the wind up? Or you just pumped to go?
I find I like to be quiet, you know, and get sleep, you know, before I play, because you kind of conserve your energy. Yeah,
Centered.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
And get focused.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
What do you do before you play?
What do I do before I play? Breathe.
That's good. Breathing's good.
Yeah, I breathe.
Yeah. And you should breathe while you're playing. It's good too.
That's what I'm doing. Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome.
Sure. Nice to meet you, Belinda.
Okay, let's find some young people. You had a question, didn't you? Okay. You want to come up? Hey Simon, this is Talia, one of our graduating drummers this year.
Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. You're a drummer, eh? Cool.
So my question is, how did you deal with all like the egos and assholes of the music industry?
Well, it's a good question, because I think that if you have somebody with an ego but makes sense and is creative, then that's okay. But if there's some guy just with an ego who sucks, I mean, who's like some kind of poser, that's terrible. You know, I mean, I think you can, you know, you can know when you meet somebody if they're full of it, you know, stuff. You know. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to say who I think it is.
Oh, that's what I wanted.
No, yeah, I can't. You know that guy with all the hair, the blonde guy? With him.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
Thanks,
Question.
Talia.
Nice to meet you.
Good job. Oh, we got a few more questions. I think we're on time. Young lady down the front here. There you go. You can come up if you want. That's Simon. He used to play in ACDC. Go and say good day.
Yeah. Hello, how are you? Nice to meet you. What's your name?
Jessica.
Hi, Jessica.
Before you go to the shows, like when you were auditioning for the ACDC band,
Yes.
did you ever feel like sort of backing out or?
No. No. You mean running away? No. No, because they were, you know, they become friends real quick, so you know, they'll help you through it and stuff like that. You know, it's like, and plus I got all these things. You know, if I want to hide, I just hide behind these. It's easy.
Oh, and like before you knew who they were, did you feel like were you scared or anything? Or?
You know, it all happened so quick. It was just like, okay, I'm doing it. And like I said, they were really cool people. You know, they were just regular people, so you just meet them, shake their hand, and it's like, you know, they made you feel really comfortable, so you just, you know, started playing the songs. Yeah. That was good. Yeah.
Awesome.
You're welcome.
You're so cool. Hey, look,
Good.
we've run out of drumsticks, but I've got a signed poster from the band for you, okay? Good on you, sweetie. All right, now, I've got one poster left, and we've run out of drumsticks, so that means one question left, then we're going to finish up big.
Okay.
So,
Doing great here, by the way, Damon.
it's got to go to the
You should
guy.
have your own show.
Hey, can you just stand up for a second? Turn around, show everyone. Should this guy get the last
Oi.
question or what?
Oi. How you doing, man? Good to see you.
That's the sweat of 91 ACDC concert is in this jacket. And my very first ACDC concert was in 1988 with him on drums. So, like you to shine a little bit of light on your transition from AC/DC to Dio, and how,
Yeah,
how that
all right.
how that went, and also in terms of how you felt about like the different drumming style in Dio.
Yes, I've been asked that before. I mean, it's nothing against AC/DC. I think my time just came. I've been in the band about 7 years, and as a drummer, it can be constricting when you're playing just four on the floor. Like I said, it's not taking nothing away from AC/DC. I mean, I'm playing AC/DC now. You know, it's a different, you know, setup right now. But back then, it was, you know, 8 months out of the year for 2 hours pretty much every night. And I just decided, I just felt rather that I needed to move on and expand my drumming and get a chance to try other styles of music. And I met Ronnie James Dio, and he pretty much gave me carte blanche, you know, to do whatever not whatever I wanted, but encouraged me, you know, a lot to do more. So that's how that went.
I guess it was nice to be able to also play solo and stuff, because in AC/DC you would never be allowed to do that.
Yeah, but that's not what it wasn't about that. It wasn't about, I didn't have an ego, I didn't want to do a drum solo and do 28 fills every 2 bars. You know, I just needed to expand and, you know, play other styles of music as well and stuff. It was Ronnie's idea for me to do a solo. I mean, I was like, really wasn't that bothered about it. I just wanted to play the songs as good and as best I could, you know, and so that's how that went down. Yeah.
Fantastic, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, sure, brother.
Certainly, it's nice to follow you also after AC/DC.
Oh, thanks.
You certainly got me very much hooked.
Yeah, that's cool.
First concert.
Very cool.
Look at that. Last poster. There you go, buddy. Well done.
Thank you.
Thanks for that. Okay. Now Jack just had one quick question before we get going. The young fella that was up first.
Yes, hey, Jack.
Is there a particular drum beat? Tell me if I get this question right, okay, buddy? Is there a particular drum beat to get you started? Is there something you learnt to get you started, kind of thing? A basic thing that you thought was cool, that you liked, kind of?
Well, when I started, I liked a bunch of stuff that I had no chance of playing. You know, if you're starting, the best way is just to go right to the basics. You know, the simplest. There was AC/DC, Status Quo. That's another band who were, you know, with a lot of rock and roll, it's all about the groove. You know, if you play it too stiff, it sounds like heavy metal. So it's good to develop some kind of groove. If you listen to those drummers,
So it's not so much the beat you play, but how you play it.
How you play it.
All right. So you've got to learn every beat, is what he's saying.
All of them. All 12 of them. And then go to the pub.
One very good, but I've run out of fun stuff. Okay, all right, last question. Here you go.
Very quick one. Did you ever play with Alex?
Alice Cooper.
No, Alex van Halen.
Did I ever play with him?
Yeah, like jam. Yeah, or
Have you ever had a jam with Alex Van Halen?
No, I haven't. You can't. His drum kit takes up the whole freaking room.
That brings up that funny story.
I did meet him once, though. We did the Donington in, I think it was 84 and all. And he was such a lovely guy, really quiet. Yeah, cool guy. I kind of respect the fact, too, that you don't see him about very much. He keeps to himself. He's all about Van Halen. You know, I think that's very cool. Yeah. Hell of a drummer. Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was a pretty cool chat. Find out some cool stuff there.